See, Christy, I think the Melinda, the only one we might be missing so far is Sean. I haven't heard from Sean.
I almost forgot I was asleep.
Yeah. David's here. And I'm going to enable the live transcript. And once, reminder once again that the recording has started. We'll give Sean maybe one more minute, then we'll start with our customary Pledge of Allegiance, then we'll put Joe through his initiation ritual. So I'm looking at the transcription on the bottom and it says something about praying. So it's not very, it doesn't seem to be very accurate so far. I don't think I said anything about praying. But you're all welcome to pray if you'd like. Okay, let's get moving in appreciation for everybody's time. Sure that some of you have probably not eaten dinner yet, etc. So it'd be nice to get on with the plan of the day. For Joe's benefit, we start every meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and because we're not able to be together, I generally just get one of my local flags and ask everyone to join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
and to the
to
republic
the republic
and
which it stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Hurrah. Thank you very much. So, maybe we'll just go around the horn very briefly by way of introduction. Joe, pleasure to meet you. I was in Zoom anyhow. Jay Panett, I'm acting as the chairman because nobody else wanted to. I've been on the board. I honestly don't know, might be 7-8 years now. Been retired from my real job for 4 years. I've been the Saugus VSO over in Saugus for 3+ years now. VSO is the Veteran Service Officer. It's a part-time position. Live on down by the Linfield line. Wife, 2 daughters. Retired from the Marine Corps. And as I said earlier, living the dream. I'm going to go across the top of my screen. Rob, you're next.
All right, I'm Rob Ettinger. Welcome, Joe. Always glad to have more help for the cause. I've been on the board, I don't know, 3 years maybe. I feel like time stands still while we're all in this sort of, so I don't know for sure, but something like that. I was in the U.S. Army, Desert Storm vet, and 1 tanker. I live here in town with my wife and my 2 kids, coach Little League, do all that stuff. When I'm not doing this, I work for Putnam Investments downtown. So welcome.
Thank you.
David.
Hi, Joe. Welcome aboard. I'm Dave Mangan, the Veteran Service Officer for the town of Wakefield. My office is located at the Senior Center on Converse Street. I'm retired from Boston College. I'm a veteran from the Vietnam era, actually Vietnam itself from Thailand and South Vietnam, 1969, 1970. I just got my reminder about the meeting. And working on a lot of projects to help make folks in Wakefield a little more aware of their veterans and the service they've given to the city.
Thank you, sir. Michael?
Hey, Joe. Welcome aboard, mate. Nice to have you on board. I've been with the group about 12 months, I think. Actually, I haven't had one of the meetings at the town halls yet because COVID happened. So I've had every meeting over Zoom. I'm a US Army veteran, Afghan veteran, and live here in the town. Just moved here about a year ago with the wife, and I work in Cambridge full-time with Social Security. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Christy?
Hi, sorry, my laptop died and I couldn't find the charger, so I wanted to make sure that I was on the call, but I am here. You're just on my phone. So I apologize. So hi, I'm Christy Untitled. I'm born and raised Wakefield. I am a loan officer locally in town. I've been in the business 20 years, and I was starting to do a lot of purchases and refinances for veterans. And I was doing a lot of educational things in other towns. So I wanted to do more in Wakefield. So I was elected on the Veteran Advisory Board last year. So I'm very new to this. I'm not military, but I just want to give back and do as much as I possibly can for our community and veterans.
And Christy is serving as the vice chair for the
The
board.
vice chair. Yep.
Miss Marion? Yeah, gotta unmute.
Marion,
you
you're
have to
muted.
unmute.
Don't you think I have enough of these meetings that I would know? Again, Joe, welcome. I've been on the board a year. I haven't had a meeting in person because of COVID. I'm retired from Winchester Hospital Administrative Assistant, and I am the current New England region president of Gold Star Wives of America. My husband served in Vietnam and unfortunately passed because of his exposure to Agent Orange. And I try to do as much as I can for the veterans to give back. And with the Gold Star Wives, we're constantly working for them. So welcome.
Miss Melinda?
Hi, Joe. Welcome aboard. I'm Melinda Cook. I live in Wakefield with my husband and 4 kids. And I don't personally have experience serving, but my father is a Marine and I love veterans. And Brandon at my boxing gym is a Marine, and I just want to give back as well. For work, I work for Millipore Sigma in Burlington. I'm the chief of staff for the head of diagnostics.
Okay.
And we're trying to find a grant for me to help this board apply for. Hopefully next year will be the year. So
Awesome.
welcome.
Thank you very much. Paul?
Hi, Joe. I'm a former infantry officer, retired, and served most of my Army career in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. I did have a command down in Fort Stewart, Georgia. And I live here in Wakefield, raised 5 children in town, and most of them are adults now. Still have one at home that came back from college because of COVID, but he's still enrolled as a full-time student. He switched to an online program and doing really well. Got 4 grandchildren, and I also have not introduced or met any of the members of this board as I joined a year ago. So welcome aboard, and hopefully the next meeting we won't have a mute button because we'll be in person.
There you go. Brian?
Joe, Brian McCoubry, welcome aboard. Army veteran, retired, live in Wakefield with my wife. I have 3 grown children. Been on the board about a year, I guess, recently. Same as everyone else, haven't met in person yet. Glad to have you.
Great.
Thank you, Brian. Jackie?
Hi, Joe. Nice to have you here with us. I am a Vietnam era veteran of the United States Air Force, law enforcement specialist. I live here in Wakefield with my partner, our 2 cats. I have 2 kids. One is married to a townie here in Wakefield, and their 3 kids are big hockey enthusiasts. And for a girl growing up in Florida, that's been that's been a little bit of a different experience for me. But I love being on this board. I've only been here maybe 9 months, so I haven't met anybody either, but I'm looking forward to getting back in
and seeing everybody in person. And we're just glad to have you. Oh, and I have to tell everybody, my grandson just told me he's been accepted to Merrimack, and he's going to pursue a career in criminal justice.
So
So-
he's
Nice, congrats.
Made me a happy grandmother.
with a Wakefield warrior. Now he'll be a Merrimack warrior.
Now he's going to be a
Yeah,
Merrimack
yeah.
warrior. Yes, he is. And-
We will avoid any discussions about logos, etc.
oh yeah, no,
Uh,
I don't even think they have one at Merrimack.
No, my daughter went through 4 years, 8 years there, 6 years there, and I don't recall one, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Dan,
My name is Dan Benjamin. I've been on the board about 6 or 7 years, actually on the board twice. And I'm a U.S. Army veteran of Vietnam. I served during the Tet Offensive in Vietnam. I was stationed right on the Mekong River. We supported the Mobile Riverine Force. I suffer from Agent Orange exposure, and now I'm trying to get the VA to recognize that.
well, thank you, Dan. Joe, tell us about yourself.
Nice to meet everyone. Great weather that we're having. Yeah, so my name's Joe DeLolio. I've moved to Wakefield about 3 years ago with my wife. So we live in the Greenwood area of Wakefield, moved from Melrose, so not too far. Outside of, I guess for work, I work for Microsoft. I start working for Microsoft again in about 2 weeks. I was with them for about 8 years, left, and now I'm coming back. So work with in the technology field, really love it. Keeps me young, work with all 20-something-year-olds, and guess that's my way of giving back. U.S. Navy veteran. I was a bosun's mate and a Navy journalist. So if you've ever seen the movie Good Morning Vietnam, Adrian Cronauer, I went to the same A school that he went to, few year apart, but same school. And just looking to give back, like most folks here at Microsoft. I work with Wounded Warriors and the American Legion quite a bit on the philanthropic side. So I'm just looking to meet everybody as soon as we can, and looking forward to helping out.
Well, awesome. Welcome once again, and thanks everybody for your time. And maybe, whoever can make the Memorial Day observance, maybe that'll be an opportunity to meet in person and maybe do something a little bit different than banging elbows. Who knows? We might even be able to shake hands. I couldn't get my printer to work, so I'm going to try to go through the agenda that we have. The first order of business was to review and approve the April meeting minutes that Rob put together. They were sent out a number of days ago. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or comments about the minutes as written?
Nope.
Nope.
Hearing none, I'll make a motion to accept them as written.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you very much. In the interest of time, in the interest of wanting to make sure we cover the Memorial Day ceremony, I'm going to try not to talk as much as I usually do and move smartly through this. Next item of business is the VSO report. I sent David's report out a little bit earlier for your filing and viewing pleasure. David, if you want to go through it.
Sure, Jay, thank you. I did add 2 small items that came across my desk this afternoon that I'll read off to us. The Wakefield Food Bank is tomorrow, the 3rd Wednesday of the month as usual, May 19th. The Wakefield Food Pantry has once again donated dry goods to go along with the Boston Food Bank donations. We currently have 17 participants and recipients in the program. And as usual, they come by the back of the senior center and they drive up, and we're COVID aware of everything that takes place. They open the trunk, we put the bags into the trunk, and everyone has masks on and off they go. We currently have 14 clients on the Chapter 115 program in Wakefield. The 115 benefit program is run by the Massachusetts Department of Veterans Services. The DVS runs the program in partnership with local veteran service offices around the state. The program provides financial aid for food, shelter, housing, clothing, and medical care to veterans and their dependents who have limited incomes. If you know of any veterans or veteran spouses who may require our services, please let them know of this program. The website for further information is www.masslegalhelp.org, Disabilities, State Veterans 115. We have received several thank you notes from the Wakefield citizens for both the Memorial Day banners and the veteran parking spot now located at the town hall. I actually got a card for everybody. Aid attendance applications are coming in at a workable pace. We have 3 that are being worked on currently at the time. Aid attendance is the wartime veterans and their surviving spouses, 65 years and older, and they may be entitled to a tax-free benefit called aid attendance provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs. The benefit is designed to provide financial aid to help offset the cost of long-term care for those who need assistance with daily activities of living, such as bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, and transferring. Please contact my office for more additional information on this particular subject. I had 2 calls this week regarding ramp installations for disabled veterans. The company I have recommended based on outstanding review is Stairlift and Ramp Headquarters, quotations. They're located in New Hampshire, and I spoke with the representative this morning. I have the flyers at the senior center with all the information if anyone would like to have them. I also have contacted them regarding the veteran discount offer, and they'll be getting back to us soon. They're going to be discussing that with their program. Memorial Day flag placements will be taking place on Monday, the 24th at the Lakeside Cemetery, 3 p.m., and Friday, the 28th at Forest Glade, 3 p.m. The Memorial Day ceremony will be held at the Memorial Commons on Monday at 1 p.m., weather permitting. The COVID guidelines will be required. Mask wearing and social distancing will be taking place, and Jay will get into more of that, I'm sure. We recently lost a veteran in the community, John Anthony Drinkwater, a U.S. Army paratrooper. He'll be his obituary is in the newspaper, and it's being taken place at McDonald's funeral parlor, the interment. And during this critical time in this period with COVID and the VA, it's offering outreach services for any mental health needs at the VA Boston office. Please contact Kyle Toto at kyle.toto@va.gov, and he'll help point you in the right direction. And as usual, the suicide hotline, everyone should have it in their phones, 1-800-273-8255. Any questions at all? That concludes my VSO report.
Hearing no questions, I'll make a motion to accept the report as written. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Thank you, David. Next is the Veterans Corner article. I think in one of my emails, I said that I wanted to get something put together for Memorial Day. I will do that and share that with the group. And the thought behind, we had hoped our normal process is to try to have it ready for this meeting, but that didn't happen. But anything that we use in the Veterans Corner for the daily item will be shared with the group. The group will have an opportunity to weigh in, edit, etc. before it gets published. So no surprises to anyone. So I was going to mention the banners, the parking spot, the flagging of the graves with COVID-19, the remaining any cautions that we have to give, and just talk about what we plan to do for Memorial Day, including the West Side Social Club activity, and just talk about all the things that Wakefield has done over the years. And then, again, I'll share that with everybody before it gets published, and I'll try to get that done in the next couple of days. Anything on the Veterans Discount Program update?
Well, I have a couple of things. Let's see. The paper store in Reading is offered the 10% program. And we've sent out emails. Christy has sent out quite a few of them. And I think she's got a couple of responses. The dock side is also now starting June 1st. Both locations in Wakefield and in Malden are going to be offering a 10% discount for veterans on all food purchases.
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Christy.
I'm sorry. Yes, I had sent out another reminder to all of the chamber people that are belong to Wakefield, and I did end up getting another 6 people, or businesses, if you will, that want to participate. So that was really good, and I'm going to keep, just making sure that I keep on that because things get lost in people's emails and whatnot. They go to junk, but it is good to see that when people are reaching out, they're saying, I want to do this. How else can I get involved? And I keep telling them, to share this information. If any of the business owners that in the North Shore area. So I'm trying to just kind of spread it out. So it's not just here in town, it's, the surrounding towns.
Well, thank you very much. I think you guys have done an awesome job with this, and
Yeah.
it's really great to see the uptake on it. And maybe before I put the article together, we can list the number, not list the names of the businesses, etc., but at least talk about we have 63 businesses that have signed up, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. I have a running spreadsheet going.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Also, Jay, the city of Cambridge has taken the letter that Christy and I put together and also a decal, and they're bringing it to the VFW district meeting next month. That will end up going national at some point. So it's going to be like barnacles in the bottom of a ship, I think, to make it work right and get it out there. But it's going to work. It's going to work.
Good.
And
Awesome.
Wakefield could be the start.
Yep.
Maybe we can get Eric some more emblem business also.
Yes, yes.
Melinda mentioned it briefly earlier. There is a state grant that's available for restoration activities and things like that. And as we've mentioned in the past, it seems to catch us by surprise. So one of the things that we thought is, now or at some time, just for the good of the group, we do not meet in July and August. So generally we meet, if we want to, in June, and I think we will. Last year, I don't think we did because we really didn't have anything hanging. So we didn't meet June, July, and August, but I think we should probably meet in June to talk about the Vets Field project and maybe other things. But, one of the thoughts was maybe we could ask folks to sign up for a little subcommittee or whatever have you, call it the grant committee, whatever have you, to try to keep this state grant on our windshield so that it doesn't get lost to us. And, in the meantime, we could start looking for worthwhile projects that may lend itself to this grant, and maybe we can get some monies from the state for some restoration work. How does anyone have any thoughts about setting up this subcommittee? Anyone want to chair this subcommittee, Melinda? Or
Sure.
okay, anyone that's interested in working on it?
Melinda,
No.
I would be interested in, I don't know anything
Yeah,
about grants, but I would love to be able to work with you on that.
Okay.
Knowing how to work the grant process is invaluable
Yep.
for any number of
Oh,
fronts.
right.
So, maybe in sometime in the future, we could have a little school circle on that too.
Sure.
Grants
Cool.
101.
Yeah. Grants
Hey,
for
Melinda-
dummies. Sign me
Melinda,
up.
put-
Grants for dummies.
Melinda,
That's
you can
not
put
any of
Paul
us,
on there
though.
too.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, now, moving right along, we're on Memorial Day. As David mentioned earlier, generally we have all of the flags, all of the wreaths are on order. We did not order the wreaths this year from Parker Florist. Parker Florist has, I don't know how long they've been doing it. Because the American Legion generally took care of the wreaths. And then, the Veteran Service offices in Melrose and Wakefield figured out how to pay for them. And there was some thought last year that, they were preserved magnolia leaves.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with any other Memorial Day or other ceremonies, generally the wreaths have some flowers to them, some colors, etc. So there was a thought after last year's that, number one, they were quite expensive, and drab is probably not the right word, but granted, Memorial Day is a solemn event, but just something that was a little bit more colorful rather than just the plain green leaves. So we got a couple of quotes, and there's a florist run by a local person, Kendall Florist in Cambridge, that gave us a very attractive price, and then offered to cut it in half as a donation to the town, the board and the town. So we went with Kendall.
Is that Beth Goodchild?
Yes. So, and I reached out to Parker Florist. I told them what we were doing. I think initially she thought I was critical of the quality of the wreaths, and that wasn't my point. The point was we wanted just something, we wanted to move in a different direction. So she quoted, and of course, when you look at the non-discounted price from Kendall and Parker Florist price, it wasn't that dramatically different. It's amazing to me how much these wreaths cost. That one we had on Veterans Day was $175.
Oh, yeah.
And,
They're
very well
expensive.
put together, very heavy, very good construction. But, I just think, for sanity's sake, getting a couple of quotes was the way to go. And, so we're saving the town and the city of Melrose some money, because we have 13 wreaths and Melrose only has 6. Until this year, when I mentioned it, Saugus had none. Saugus didn't put any wreaths anywhere. Now they're just having one at Riverside Cemetery. So maybe they'll start something new. So we're going to have, so the wreaths are all taken care of. Flags are all taken care of. And as David mentioned, we do Lakeside Cemetery Monday and Forest Glade Cemetery on Friday. I believe it's 3 p.m. for both. And, I think given the COVID guidelines, the fact that they'll come down on the 29th, I'll still put something out that says we need, I think the restriction is 250 people outdoors. We never get 250 people. And just, make sure that everyone abides by the guidelines. Doing the flags at Forest Glade and Lakeside takes at most an hour, hour and a half. So, the members of this board are certainly more than welcome to attend. Saugus is doing their cemetery at 3 p.m. on Friday, same time as Wakefield, so I'll have to figure that out. I sent out the the agenda for the ceremony. I found out today that Representative Moulton is going to send one of his district deputies to the ceremony on the common. He also was supposed to send out a video today that I did not get. And when I get it, I'll share it with WCAT or find another vehicle for it. We have a member of clergy. We have Boy Scouts. We have a singer for the national anthem. We have a couple of trumpeters for taps. Brian asked some questions about today about chairs, et cetera, because of COVID restrictions and things like that. I actually wasn't planning on setting up chairs in Saugus and Melrose for their Memorial Day ceremonies. There are no chairs. You just come and you stand for half an hour if you choose to, and then go on your merry way.
A lot of
Plus,
people
if we-
can people bring their own unfoldable chairs though, Jay? They
Yeah.
might.
Well, I
They
mean,
might.
we haven't had it outside for years, but in the past they did. But in the past, when we had it on the common, we had to put up a pop-up tent. There were chairs, a lectern, DPW overtime, yada, yada, yada. So I wasn't planning on traveling that route, given the COVID restrictions. Now, when we did the royal we, because I was in Saugus, when we did Veterans Day, there was no lectern, correct? You stood behind a microphone.
Right.
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 I could probably take, because I can't go to the West Side Social Club ceremony in the morning because I'll be in Saugus at the same time. I can probably take the same lectern from Saugus to Wakefield in the back of the pickup and set it up if we want. Some of us like to hide behind a lectern when we're speaking in public. I could certainly do that. And I believe for Veterans Day, WCAT provided loudspeakers. Am I correct on that?
They did, yep. And I think they're bringing them again, Jay.
I'm looking on my screen. Brian is right above you, and I'm looking at Brian, and he's not nodding.
Yeah, no, I believe we did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do I need to reach out to somebody to confirm, or is Ian gonna run with that?
I actually have to see Ian tomorrow, so I'll just confirm with him that
Okay.
that's the case.
Cool. Yeah. So I think for the ceremony on Memorial Day, we're squared away. But what am I forgetting? Anything?
Jay, who
David?
reads the names?
We'll talk about that in a second. David?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be doing I'm the guest speaker. I made it short and sweet, Jay, as I sent it to you for a look over. I know people standing, you don't want it too lengthy. And so I summarized it the best I could. I did get a notice today from from Hanscom Field that the Medal of Liberty that was I submitted for Gerald Scott should be at my office this week. And I believe Julie Scott, the niece, will be there to receive it. And that'll be part of the ceremony real quick. It's the Medal of Liberty for Gerald Scott, and it comes with a nice certificate.
Okay.
So
Again, Semper Gumby, we can adjust on that, and we
Yeah.
can add it, because we're not, I don't think, well, I'll ask the question instead of making a statement. When we've had these ceremonies in the Galvin, we have handed out copies of that agenda. When we had them on the common, I don't think we did. Wasn't planning on it. I could make a couple 100 copies and ask the Boy Scouts to hand them out, or we just go without. One of the benefits of the agenda is people say, Jesus, how long is this ceremony going to be? And they can figure out where we are. So,
Right.
I can go either way on it. It really doesn't matter.
It'll be a mass unit.
So to Rob's point, Paul brought up a good point last month about reading the names of the fallen. And I had a bit of a heart attack when I was coming out of voting, because I turned to my left and there are 3 very large plaques in the hallway of the Galvin. And the first one is for probably 20, 30, 40 people from Wakefield who died in the Civil War. And I was like, oh my God, they're not on the wall. And then I went running down the hallway and I looked and it's like, oh, it says foreign wars. Okay. Phew. We didn't mess up that badly. So one of the things that I'm going to do, I took a video of it. I'm going to transcribe it from the video so that we have those names. I don't know, and maybe we could reach out to Nancy Bertrand to see if we could find out if any, well, it wasn't even Wakefield then, was it? Was it Reading? Did we have people that died during the Revolution? I don't know.
Probably South Reading.
I don't know. But we'll start at the Civil War and we'll go from there. Because as I said before, Joe, I said, no good deed goes unpunished. And, we had those nice banners along Main Street. And, I'm already getting just a little blowback for somebody who's not up there, et cetera, yada, 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 yada. So it kind of is what it is.
Mhm.
But, it's, I thought the project came out awesome, and it's going to
Oh,
be a
yeah.
start of, I think, something even bigger as we move forward. I think the long-term hope is that we can get people of Wakefield to send in photos, bios, etc., of themselves in service, their loved ones in service, etc., so we can expand the banners to that far-off place, Greenwood, or the entire of Main Street. Who knows? But again, no good deed goes unpunished. Where do we draw the line on who we put up there? Does Wakefield need to be their home of record? Do they need to just be a lifelong Wakefield resident, et cetera, because every memorial that I'm familiar with has had confrontation for people not being on the wall or on the plaque, whatever have you. Maybe, and I'm going to touch base with the town council and the town administrator to see where their thoughts are on this. But, we can have more discussion on that as we move on. Maybe we just open it to all comers. I don't know, because it's, and there are some towns that do this. I think Haverhill and North Andover have a similar project, and there's one up in New York where the veteran or family members actually sponsor the banner. They make a $100 contribution, whatever the case may be, to pay for the banner. I don't know if we want to pursue that. I don't control those purse strings, but that'll be a question that I ask. I actually did get one person that actually volunteered to make a donation to cover the cost of the banners, but we can cross that bridge when we come to it. So for reading the names, Paul originally brought it up that members of this board could certainly do it. I reached out to the high school to see if we could get some students to do it. I have not received confirmation on that. I'm going to reach out to her again after this meeting and say we need to draw a line on the sand, either plan on the kids or don't plan on the kids. If we, bring Civil War forward, there's probably 150 names. If 5 of us do it, that's 30 names or whatever have you. But, one of the things that we'll do before the ceremony is see who from this board plans on attending. See if they want to read some names if we don't have kids, and then divvy it up that way. I'll have all the names written down, so all we have to do is read them. The ones on the Galvin photo display are, I think, in chronological order. At least they're in order on how they were mounted at the old Galvin. So we'll just read them as mounted, and I'll take the dozens off of the Civil War Memorial, and we'll just go from there. Okay? So more to follow on that. Any questions on Memorial Day? What am I forgetting? Anything? Sound
Hey,
reasonable?
Hey,
Paul?
Jay,
Yeah.
do you want to ask tonight from the board if we're willing to read the names?
Yeah, sure.
Before you make contact with the school for final confirmation, so that you got a plan B in your pocket?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I mean, I'm going to be there. I'll read a bunch of names. It's
I'm
fine
gonna
with
be
me.
there.
I'll be
Until-
there.
I'll be
Paul,
there too, so I'm happy to
Rob,
read.
Mike, Jackie, David. Brian will be behind the camera, so we can't press him into double duty.
Good for you.
So there'll be a bunch of us there.
Yeah, okay.
I
So
can
we're
rope
good.
I can rope my grandkids, a couple of them, to, if you want some kids.
All right, cool. Are they tall enough to reach above the podium?
One of them is.
Okay. As I went to a first communion on Sunday, and a couple of the kids almost needed a parachute to get behind the podium.
Well, they're high school, so they should
Okay,
hopefully.
cool. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
If you put like 20 names on a card, it'll be easy to just hand out the cards, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I could
Something like that.
certainly do that. Yep. So I'll figure out exactly how many we have when I transcribe the Civil War names, in addition to the 111 that are on the wall.
And you're gonna ask Nancy Bertram if we have any South Reading
Yeah,
Revolutionary
I'll
War?
I'll just send her a quick email.
Okay,
I have her email address, and see, we'll go from there.
okay.
Okay.
Question on
So-
Memorial Day.
Sorry?
Question on Memorial Day. Do you know if the representative from Congressman Moulton's office will be speaking?
Yes. Very briefly. He will be speaking briefly. Representative Wong always speaks briefly. And the town council chair, Julie Smith Galvin, will be there.
Mhm.
So generally, the way we've done it is the town councilor brings greetings from the town. They go first in the batting order, if you will. And then, I was thinking that if Representative Moulton was actually going to be here, he's maybe more senior, whatever have you, but since his representative is going to be here, I was thinking of putting him after Representative Wong. So town, state, and then federal.
Mhm.
I could reverse that, I don't. If, like I said, if Representative Moulton was showing up, I'd put him in front of the state rep. But again, I really, no magic there. Rob's going to read the proclamation from the Commonwealth on Memorial
Okay.
Day. Okay.
How many wreaths will they be putting out?
How many wreaths we're only going to place one during the ceremony.
Okay.
The other ones will already be out.
Hey, I've got those stands in my office. I've got 6 of them, I think. Five.
I have 8 or 9 of them here also. So
Bring those?
Christy, am I picking them up Saturday, the wreaths? You're
You're
muted.
muted, Christie.
It's
I don't
not
think
something
she
she
knows
hears
she's-
very often.
Oh, Christie.
Well, I'll have them in advance anyhow.
Hi.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Have we,
How did you guys leave it with Beth? I forget.
I said I could pick them up either Friday or Saturday, depending on what works best for her schedule. And I haven't heard back
Hold on, let me see.
that I can recall anyhow.
Get out of there.
And,
Let me
I can do
confirm.
it.
I will get back to you. Let me confirm.
Yeah, that's fine. It really, no big deal. I'm gonna be delivering flags to Melrose, I think, on Saturday, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Thank you. And, I can go to Cambridge and get them, of course. That's not a problem.
Well,
Um,
she lives right here in Wakefield, so I'm sure she'll have them here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And it stands, Jay, at my office. Do you want to pick those up there, or should I bring them with me somewhere? Or?
Hey, bring them with you tomorrow if you want. No, you won't be going into the office. I can pick
No.
them up any day.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. So on the Veterans Field Memorial, I've mentioned it to the town administrator's office and town council in, not in great and gory detail. I believe they've seen some pictures. Thought was we'll get Memorial Day behind us and we'll have a full court press on that. Mr. Mayo thought that it would be nice to do that in conjunction with the rededication of the pickleball court, etc. I don't know what the time is. Who would have thought that Wakefield would ever have a pickleball court? But
That's fantastic.
it's going to be behind the Hartshorn House.
8 of them, I think.
Really?
They're
It's-
standing at 10 feet on each side.
It's the big game right now. I
Yeah,
never heard
it
of it.
really is.
Never heard of it till 5 years ago, but for those of you may recall, Dan had some sketches. There's a local family or group that has offered to donate the signage. But it's going to involve a town council meeting, especially if we don't have a bench or whatever have you. So we'll kind of go from there. So we'll press further on that in
Can I give you a
June.
little brief history that I came up with on that?
You did.
Maybe I found out that was first called the Church Street Playground. And then the ice houses that were located there burnt down. And the town decided that the WPA would start a project there in 1934 and 35. And it sat there like that for, I think, 8 or 9 years. And somebody from the American Legion Post, the Harry Nelson, came up at town meeting and suggested that they call it Veterans Field. And that was an article, I think, Article 31 to call it, and it was unanimously voted on in 1943. I think in 1943, we were fully at war. I mean, it was right in the middle of the war. Everybody forgot about everything. Nothing else was ever done. So I think that was never really dedicated. So I think that makes it even a better project, that after all these years, and we could also pull in the American Legion on this and get that whole field dedicated again.
That would be awesome.
Get fireworks.
No, fireworks are canceled. You're more than welcome to put your chair out on North Avenue.
I will just wave my banner.
That's where the drink waters always used to sit, at the corner of Church and North Avenue.
Mhm.
While I was yapping, I touched on the banners. We'll pursue that further. Now, to be perfectly honest, I know that the parking space passed the town council, but I don't know what they passed, if you know what I mean. the board had recommended the painted icon and, or at the very least, a painted space with signage. And that's what was agreed to, but the letter that I sent them said most of the towns that I'm familiar with did not strictly comply with the verbiage in the act. Because I think it talked about towing and things like that. And, you know, I thought the Linfield sign was very good. There was one in Framingham, you know, honoring your service, etc. So I don't specifically know what was approved. I know the space was approved, but I need to find out exactly what we're having. Now, I believe it was last month, if not 2 months ago, Melrose put their spot behind City Hall. If you know where Melrose City Hall is, there's an alleyway that runs between City Hall and the post office area. That's where the parking spot is. And it has a sign, and they had a formal dedication ceremony for it. So we could certainly go that route also, if we like.
I think at the town council's meeting there, they had material, and I think it was a picture of the simple sign. And I think that's what we all agreed on this. The
Yeah.
simple, like no parking sign.
Yeah, I the letter that I sent them, and I thought I had sent, did I share that letter that I sent with this board?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought I did.
Yep.
But, you know, again, it was a simple sign with the logos. No mention about towing and things like that, so I'll find out
Steve-
exactly.
Steve Mayo had mentioned that they'd like to put it in front of the mailboxes on the side. There's two
Yeah.
handicap spots, and then right there. So it's a
Yeah.
great location.
Absolutely. I'll find out exactly what the plan is when I ask him a bunch of other questions. Cool. Any other business?
Oh, can I
Jackie.
just say, I heard from Joe Bellavere's dad.
Yeah.
His sister-in-law sent him a picture of the banner in town, by Lincoln Street, I guess it was. I got to see it today. And he said how appreciative he was to have that up there. He just couldn't believe it. He was just very touched. And I just wanted to share that with the board.
Is he permanently in Florida now?
Yep,
Okay.
they sold their place up in New Hampshire and they're now there permanently.
Okay. Did you have something, Jackie?
Yeah, so do we know what we're gonna do in June for Veterans Corner? Are we doing it every month? Once every month?
Theoretically, with that, that's what we thought, what we had planned on.
Because June 12th is Women's Veterans Day, and
Okay.
I'd like to write something for that.
Cool.
Okay,
Have at it.
okay,
That's awesome. You're gonna
Thank
talk
you.
about the Deborah Sampson Award, which will have already been given, I think, at that point. I think the deadline for recommendations is already passed.
okay.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll be in touch about it though,
Cool.
because it'll be before our next meeting, I think.
Now, you know, I actually went down the common this morning because I was asked some questions about World War II era veterans and things like that. And, you know, why isn't somebody, you know, on a wall? Why isn't somebody on this, that, or the other thing? So I did a little research and, you know, it's one of the things that I found when we did the Galvin project is you look at those names and some of the names are familiar. You know, it's a school, it's a field, and it's a reporter in town, same name. And you look at them and there are bunches of the same name. And somebody was looking for one particular name that's not, because they have a tablet in the center of, I think they're all guys that passed. And then there are other tablets on the left and the right of people from Wakefield that served. And there are men and women on that. And this particular gentleman is not on the wall.
Is his name Charlie by any chance, Jay?
No.
Okay.
And as it turned out, this gentleman died in before the war was declared. So, you know, because when the town redid the World War II memorial, there was like a 15 member commission that was put together. And, you know, I'm sure that they had selection criteria, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, right, wrong, or indifferent, this gentleman's name is not on the wall. And so I'm assuming that it's because he passed before war was declared. And because I know that there are at least two guys that are in the Galvin wall that were not killed in combat, nor did they die as a result of wounds sustained in combat. The one gentleman, Briggs, that died in like 1908 down in Texas, other than the name, I don't think we know anything about him. Near as I could tell, in 1908, there wasn't a war in Texas, but somebody made a decision at some point that he belonged in the Galvin display, so there he is. So again, you know, getting back to the banners, you know, I'm sure we're going to ruffle some feathers somewhere because that's just the way these things go. But, you know, I think it's very important to recognize the fact that Wakefield does remember its sons and daughters that it sends off to war, has and will continue to. And I think that that's one of the charges of this board, to make sure that it continues to. And we will continue to do that.
Hey, can I ask one question?
Certainly.
Is anybody going to do anything Flag Day? I know the American Legion used to, and I know Tommy Collins. I don't know who's left in the American Legion.
You know, to be perfectly honest, I asked if they could stand up a color guard to present colors, and for, you know, I don't even, Marion, do you know if they're doing anything down at the west side?
I don't know. Ben Schools is running it. We're supposed to have a meeting on Friday. He has not mentioned anything about the volley that we usually do before taps.
Yeah.
Usually it's the American Legion that does it, but the only ones that I think actually still able to do that would be Billy Walsh and
Sammy Stella.
Sammy Stella, right. It's they've done it they've actually done it, just the two of them, the last 2 active years, this year and the last time that we did it in person. I mean, this year we are doing the full 9, we're doing the whole thing. So thankfully, we did a small one last year, but I don't know if they've contacted them. Usually Sam and Billy come down and do that.
Yeah.
But
I'll reach out.
I'll reach out to Sam Stella Friday, and I can ask him what's going on with that.
Yeah, because I don't know if Ben's contacted him or anything, so.
Yeah, because, you know, John Bowling has been in touch with me, and he's in touch with Tom Collins on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah.
So I can ask John what they're planning to do. Someone asked a question about the American Legion. Now I forget what the hell it was. That one. Of all the things I missed, my mind is the most.
Bumper sticker.
Yeah, because the only other American Legion one that I know is Paul Facina, and he's 95. So
yeah,
that's not happening.
You know, and I know Tom Collins was keeping a pretty low profile.
Yeah,
so.
he's got to stick close to home because of his his spouse.
Yep. Good man for sure.
Fantastic man.
Yep.
On the 14th, Jay. On
that was the question.
There's
Flag
the question.
Day. See?
Flag Day. Yeah.
Flag Day.
So So I will, because I know it was generally done in conjunction with the Boy Scouts and the Legion. I will reach out to both of them after this meeting to see if there's anything planned. To be perfectly honest, I don't know where the flags that are retrieved from the box at Town Hall are even stored in anticipation of these. I know the ones from the box we have in Saugus go right to Wheelabrator and they get burned.
Incinerated.
Yeah, so I'll find that out. But that's a great question. Thank you. What day of the week is the
Do we
14th?
even know that the American Legion do they still meet?
They were. I don't know if they still are now.
Yeah.
Since Tom has really been inactive, I don't know as they've been actually meeting, to my knowledge.
June 14th is a Monday.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
birthday.
Awesome.
Yay.
29 again.
Raise the flag.
Exactly. That's what my sister and I used to tell everybody, because we're twins. We used to say, well, it's a great day, our birthday. They put the flags up for us. What more could you ask for?
Raise the flag. That's right.
Oh,
Happy
that's-
pre-birthday.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So I will reach out to the Legion on Flag Day and West Side. We'll reach out to the Boy Scouts on Flag Day.
What should I ask Sam Stella when I talk to him on Thursday? It's not Friday, it's Thursday. I have a meeting with him.
Okay.
What does Sam Stella have to do with Flag Day in the past?
No, Sam Stella and Bill Walsh did the rifle volley for the West Side
Okay.
Social
Yeah,
Club.
they always did the rifle. And like I said, we usually have
great.
called them by now, but I can't confirm whether Ben has called them or not.
And Tommy Collins used to do all the Flag Day itself, the ceremony.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah.
So that, and I'll reach out to John when I go back upstairs and try not to forget what I was going to do. Because I think that if the Legion is not able to put together something, maybe we can do something with the Boy Scouts, because that burn pit, well, that's probably a bad term to be using these days.
Yeah.
The flag incineration pit down on Veterans Memorial Common was a Boy Scout Eagle project
Hmm.
by Pete Crump. Done very well. So cool. Any other business?
On
Hearing
that,
none,
on that note, Jay, we might want to mention something, maybe in Veterans Corner or perhaps before that, about the flags. If people wanted to bring them down there on Flag Day, on the 14th to the pit, and the Boy Scouts will be there, and we can have a little service for that, to that degree. People have them. They've asked me. I've actually brought a half a dozen flags down to the town hall in
Yeah.
the box. So,
I've got a bag of them too.
yeah, that's a good idea.
okay, leave it there.
We'll
There we
put
go.
something together, that's for sure. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Welcome, Joe. Now you know what you're kind of in for.
There you go.
It's all good.
Nice to meet everyone.
Thanks. See
Nice
y'all
to meet
later.
you too.
Stay safe.
You too, Joe.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.